Coming up on Cronkite Sports Report, Heisman fever hits a local high school.
I think that's really what motivates me to get better all the time. And I think it's just something that I've always had. It's just a motivation to just keep getting better, because I always know there's someone out there that's better than me.
An undersized former NFL defensive back stands tall for young football players.
It's not about the size, or you could be the biggest, the fastest, but if you don't have the heart and the passion to play this game, you're just going to be another guy sitting on the sidelines.
3 young women step onto the mat to change the world of wrestling.
I had a few people tell me that I shouldn't wrestle, but I'm a person that wants to prove everybody wrong. So if they tell me that I can't do it, I'm going to try the hardest possible to do it and prove everybody wrong.
And we meet a few special horses who bring comfort and hope.
I've experienced new levels of healing here with Lisa and the animals that I didn't even know I needed to have healed.
Welcome to Cronkite Sports Report. I'm Brittany Boyer.
And I'm Devin Gooden. As student journalist at ASU's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication, we look to bring you unique sports stories with an Arizona connection.
We begin tonight with the Heisman Trophy, the annual award given to college football's best player. But that's not the only Heisman handed out each fall.
Wendy's founder Dave Thomas joined with the Heisman Trophy Trust in 1994 to create Wendy's High School Heisman, given to a male and female athlete in each state who succeeds on the field, in the classroom, and as a leader. Reporter Sky Merida went to Xavier College Prep to meet a 4.3 student athlete who kicked and ran her way to this year's award.
Many extraordinary women have walked the halls of Xavier College Preparatory in Phoenix. From pro golfers like Heather Farr to Oscar-winning actresses like Emma Stone. Now, there's a new star on campus, Kinsey Amon. The senior has excelled at both soccer and track at Xavier. In 2017 alone, she helped the Gators win their 9th state championship, and she medaled both in the 4x800 and 4x400 relays in the track and field state finals.
I think that's probably one of my best skills on the field, is just my competitive drive and my drive to be a perfect and stuff like that. I think that's really what motivates me to get better all the time. And I think it's just something that I've always had. It's just a motivation to just keep getting better, because I always know there's someone out there that's better than me. And I think it's just kind of always been there, always been inside me to just play that perfect pass and make that perfect play.
Amon is this year's Arizona State winner of the Wendy's High School Heisman Award. The award is given to one girl and one boy from each state who excel both on and off the field. In addition to her athletic success, Amon's a high achiever in the classroom, maintaining a 4.3 GPA.
It's a lot of time management. I spend a lot of my time either studying or playing soccer or running track. I think it's a lot of sacrifices that you have to make, a lot of stuff after school with your friends you have to give up, but it's still it's for something greater than that, and things like this that I can achieve.
Beyond Amon's many athletic achievements and academic excellence is her positive impact on those around her. And this includes her teammate Abby Hubbard, who not only considers her a friend, but a great role model.
She never fails to make me laugh. She's just an overall great person, and she welcomes everyone around her. And not only is she a hard worker and she leads people, but I think people like to follow in her footsteps and try to be like her.
As Amon prepares for her final season as a Gator, her teammate and friend Kyla Ferry believes she has already left a legacy as one of the top goalies in school history.
She will be remembered as one of the best goalkeepers I think that they've had here in a really long time. Last year winning state, she led us to that with a shutout in the state final. So I think that she'll go down with that goalkeeper status as well as high academics.
Next year, Amon will play Division I soccer at Pepperdine University. In Phoenix, Sky Merida, Cronkite Sports Report.
As a high school Heisman State winner, Amon will receive a $1,000 college scholarship, a silver medal, and a Wendy's High School Heisman State winner patch.
Coming up on Cronkite Sports Report, in the NFL, he was known as Mighty Mouse for his small size but large impact. Now Mark McMillan carries that impact to young football players in Chandler.
He creates an environment where kids are safe to perform and reach for the stars and chase their dreams, but at the same time, be okay if they mess up.
And 3 girls make waves in a male-dominated sport.
They have to walk in the door and understand they're entering a man's world, and they've still got the gumption to go and do that and compete against them, and knowing that these boys are sometimes often stronger, just physiologically stronger than they are.
Welcome back to Cronkite Sports Report. I'm Devin Gooden. At 5'7", Mark McMillan was considered too small for football's biggest stage, but he went on to a long career in the NFL. And now he is using what he learned at the top of his sport to teach a new generation of football players in Chandler. Mark McMillan got off to a late start in football. He played just 1 year in high school before developing a love for the sport at Glendale Junior College in California.
It just clicked, and like I said, once I got a chance to play the game, it started being fun again. I was excited. I was actually on the field and being able to contribute, and that's all I wanted to do. Football is a fun game. It's a passionate game, and I just love to compete.
After Glendale, McMillan transferred to the University of Alabama. But at 5'7", he seemed an unlikely prospect for the National Football League. The Philadelphia Eagles drafted him late in the 1992 draft, and against all odds, he found a home in the NFL.
Growing up in Los Angeles on the tough streets of LA, being that knucklehead bad kid, it was just our environment that we grew in, that, don't give up, fight for everything that you get, because no one's going to give you anything in life. And I just took that same attitude to junior college, on to Alabama, and to the National Football League. Like I said, not too many people gave me the opportunity to even get drafted, let alone played 8 years in the National Football League.
After retiring, he decided to open Camp 29 in Chandler, using his experience to help a new generation of football players. The training camp invites any and all football players from middle school to college to work on their skills while being mentored by McMillan.
It was just, 4 or 5 guys here at the park, 8, 9-year-old kids just run around some cones and a football, and more people start buying into the program, and I started seeing success for these kids to get them off the street and be more positive in their community. And from there, I just said, man, this is something, probably my calling, and just talked over with my family, and they said this is something that you should pursue, because you have a great story to tell, and people believe your story, and people look up to you. So this is a blessing for me to be able to open up a door, many doors for these young men to bust down.
It's exciting. There's not a lot of places you can come and have fun and compete and get better at the same time, so it's just exciting to come out.
He creates an environment of safety with respect to you're expected to come in here and do your very, very best, but it's okay to mess up, and he takes those opportunities to build guys up. He creates an environment where kids are safe to perform and reach for the stars and chase their dreams, but at the same time be okay if they mess up.
Despite McMillan's career at the highest level of football, Camp 29 has humble beginnings and has stayed loyal to their roots. Every Saturday, players from all different schools can gather where the camp was founded at Tumbleweed Park in Chandler. No matter what allegiances are during the week, on Saturday, everyone plays for Camp 29.
The thing is, it's a family atmosphere. All the kids support each other. We got kids from multiple different schools. Some of them compete against each other on Friday nights, and they still come to Camp 29, and it's all about getting better every day. And
it's like being part of a family. Like, it's just, you get to go see everybody. It's fun. Everyone has a smile on their face. Everyone's happy to see each other.
No matter what level the campers reach in football, McMillan believes the most important part of what he is doing at Camp 29 revolves around inspiration.
Some of these kids have no idea who I am besides social media, and once they see me in person, they're like, this is a guy that you said was going to train me and that played in the National Football League for 8 years. So I know that these kids look at me and they look at my stature, and in the back of their mind they're probably like, man, if he can do it, I know I can do it. So that's what I tell these kids all the time. It's not about the size, or you could be the biggest, the fastest, but if you don't have the heart and the passion to play this game, you're just going to be another guy sitting on the sideline.
Through the years, greats such as Olympian Devin Allen have been a part of this organization. And now, as high school football winds down, players will begin to join McMillan at Tumbleweed Park to improve their skills with their Camp 29 family. In Chandler, Devin Gooden, Cronkite Sports Report. Players from all over Phoenix have already begun to filter into the camp now that the season is coming to a close. McMillan says he is looking forward to the offseason ahead for the ability to mentor more players and help them grow.
Coming up on Cronkite Sports Report, why the stereotypes surrounding wrestling are being challenged.
The time they're like, you wrestle? Do you wrestle guys? That's what they're mostly like, and yeah, I do.
And how horses help those in need of healing.
The benefits the clients receive are extremely therapeutic on a physical, cognitive, behavioral, and relational level. And we use the emotional, relational, and physical dynamics of the horse to do it.
Welcome back to Cronkite Sports Report. I'm Brittany Boyer. 3 young women on the Levine Wrestling Club are taking to the mat, hoping to bring change to their sport. Kendall Valenzuela found out how these girls are competing for much more than trophies.
Paige Ween, Ava Schroeder, and Hannah Brown are not afraid to challenge the stereotypes surrounding wrestling, as they are the only female high school wrestlers at the Levine Wrestling Club.
The time they're like, you wrestle? Do you wrestle guys? That's what they're mostly like, and yeah, I do.
A lot of these guys have wrestled for years before I'd even come in here. My practice partners had already been working for years, so it's kind of thing of, okay, step your game up, get ready, and always be there for every practice.
I had a few people tell me that I shouldn't wrestle, but I'm a person that wants to prove everybody wrong. So if they tell me that I can't do it, I'm going to try the hardest possible to do it and prove everybody wrong.
The Levine Wrestling Club began with only boys participating, but no one knew the club would soon host an array of young girls wanting to compete.
It wasn't as if we had an intent to really promote girls wrestling. It's just at the beginning of the club, we had some coaches who had daughters who were sitting on the sideline. They wanted to join, so come on in, let's wrestle, and it just snowballed from there.
Ava was a freshman last year at Arizona Lutheran Academy and was the first female to take on the challenge of competing with boys.
I think you just understand that there has to be a first for everything, and until someone tries it, no one's going to know what the problems and what the benefits are to doing it, so you kind of just take it all in stride and say, you know, I want to make a way for other people.
Girls wrestling has seen a significant increase in the United States, especially after 1980 when only 48 girls participated in the sport that year. According to the National Federation of State High School Associations, 11,496 girls competed in wrestling in the 2014-2015 season, and 193 of those girls were from right here in Arizona.
I think most of the wrestling community now realizes that women's wrestling is here. And in fact, you know, many years ago they were talking about cutting Olympic wrestling as a sport for men, and I think in large part it's because women are being integrated. It's kind of helping to save wrestling.
Steve admires the determination it takes for his girls to compete every day with the same tenacity and spirit.
They have to walk in the door and understand they're entering a man's world, and they've still got the gumption to go and do that and compete against the men, knowing that these boys are sometimes often stronger, just physiologically stronger than they are.
All 3 girls are thankful for their coach's support and encourage others to not be afraid and compete.
No one should be held back by the fact that they're a girl.
You're always going to be nervous coming on first off, but if you have great coaches, great surroundings, it'll take you seconds to get adjusted, and you'll have fun doing it.
The Levine Wrestling Club hopes that girls will continue to grow the sport of wrestling in Arizona. In Phoenix, Kendall Valenzuela, Cronkite Sports Report.
In the last 10 years, girls high school wrestling saw a 164% growth in participants. Coming up on Cronkite Sports Report, horses far away from the track helping people win at life.
There is this like solidarity, you know, with you in your pain, and affirmation that you're not alone. And I think that was the biggest thing I needed, was to know I wasn't alone in my pain.
Welcome back to Cronkite Sports Report. I'm Devin Gooden. Local equine center Envision is taking horsemanship to new levels, offering more than just your average riding lessons, but services that are forever impacting the lives of many.
After 7 years away from training and showing horses, Lisa Payway worried her career working with the animals was over for good. But then an opportunity arose to work with a therapeutic horsemanship center.
I really love helping people with the horses, not just to win ribbons, but to help them win their inner self.
She spent 3 years working at a therapeutic horse center in Phoenix before joining with a group of senior staff and volunteers from that center to open Envision Equine Assisted Coaching and Therapeutic Horsemanship 4 years ago.
The benefits the clients receive are extremely therapeutic on a physical, cognitive, behavioral, and relational level. And we use the emotional, relational, and physical dynamics of the horse to do it.
Each individual or family who comes through Envision's program is there for the same purpose, healing. But they all arrive with a different challenge, be it a physical ailment, a mental health issue, developmental disorders, or, in Brandy Powell's case, an abusive relationship.
I've experienced new levels of healing here with Lisa and the animals that I didn't even know I needed to have healed, new parts of my heart that I needed to have healed. I wouldn't be at the place that I'm at and able to give to others the way that I can if it wasn't for the things that Envision has done for me the last few years.
Payway and the rest of the Envision team spend months evaluating horses before determining if they are qualified to work with people in these sensitive situations.
Some of our sessions are mounted, where people are actually on top of the horse, and many of our sessions are not mounted. It's where we're on the ground, boots on the ground, and we're working with the emotional, relational, psychological components of the horse to help people.
This is Shadow, a 15-year-old horse who's been with Envision for 1.5 years now. He helps with cognitive and physically disabled riders, and I've been told he's quite the caretaker. Horses like Shadow have made a large impact on people like Powell, who said she was terrified of the animals when she began visiting Envision. But 3 years later, she has developed a close bond with the horses, and through them, a stronger relationship with her 13-year-old daughter as well.
My mom actually has a tattoo on her wrist of 2 horses here, and we'll talk about the horses every day when I come home from school and she goes to see them, or just stuff that she learned. So we've definitely gotten closer from that.
I've been to small support groups, I've been to counseling. I mean, I've done the gamut of different things that you can do to get healing. And so, and all of it has been effective in different ways. So this was just a different experience. The animals bring a different level of comfort and peace and safety.
The animals also work with children, like Jack Mills, who has autism. His mother says that she has noticed significant improvement in her son since he began coming to Envision.
So this is 3 seasons in, and his posture, he has muscle tone, which he never had. That was what we worked with physical therapy for. He still works with occupational therapy. And his therapeutic riding has kind of taken the place of a lot of what his physical and occupational therapy was doing. And it's kind of just all those things all rolled into one.
For families like the Mills and the Powells, the horses help them learn, whether that means learning how to interact with others, learning to trust again, or learning to feel loved again.
So when I'm meeting with Lisa and we're in a session and let's say Belle the donkey comes up, or Monty the huge, enormous white horse comes up, there is this like solidarity, with you in your pain, and affirmation that you're not alone. And I think that was the biggest thing I needed, was to know I wasn't alone in my pain.
It's safe to say that these horses have left a huge mark in the lives of many.
They've certainly been with me in some pretty intimate spaces, more so than I think oftentimes people have been, which is a crazy thing to say. I mean, I have good relationships with people, but it's just there's certain moments that are so unique between me and the horse that I don't know, it's a different kind of relationship.
And those relationships have been a saving grace for many, allowing them to find peace, love, and hope. In Phoenix, Amanda Whitaker, Cronkite Sports Report.
If you would like to donate or volunteer at Envision, you can visit their website at envisiontherapy.org. That's all for this edition of Cronkite Sports Report. I'm Devin Gooden.
And I'm Brittany Boyer. From all of us here at the Phoenix Sports Bureau of Cronkite News, thank you for joining us.